The Essenes accurately prophesied the birth and the period in which Jesus would be born. What's more, they prophesied his return and the period in which he would return to. So if they were right about one, could they also be right about the other? Who were the Essenes and what did they represent? Stay to the end of this video. Welcome to Miracle Sounds.
If they were right the first time, do you think they might be right the second time? They actually had a prediction on their calendar as when Messiah would arrive. They predicted to within like the 7-year period when Messiah would come. They have a totally different way of measuring time. It's all in multiples of 7. Were they right? Yes. They believed it so precisely, they were physically ready for when Messiah came. But here's the other thing. They didn't just predict when he would come the first time. They predicted when he would come at the end of the age. And they said when the last Jubilee, the last generation would happen, according to the Essene calendar, it was March 19th, 2025, it started. That's what their calendar predicted. That would be the last generation, the last 50 years.
So according to these guys, we are the last generation on earth. Let that sink in. Like there's no generation coming after us. We are the last of the last before this set is finally destroyed.
The Essenes were contemporaries of the Pharisees and Sadducees. They were a Jewish group during the time of Jesus. And the Essenes were the ones that basically maintained the proper interpretation of the Old Testament. And we find that through their writings in the Dead Sea Scrolls. They were known for having accurate prophecies. The Essenes actually said that their calendar was the original calendar that God originally gave. The Essene calendar divides up all of human history, past, present, and future, into 7,000 years. One of these divisions is called an age, which is a period of 2,000 years. So they saw 3.5 ages. Now, according to the Essenes, our age of grace, they actually called it that, started in 75 AD. Another division is called a Jubilee, which is a period of 50 years. Now, when you look at the previous ages in the events throughout the Bible, you find that major prophecy is always being fulfilled during the final 50 years, the final Jubilee of an age. Think about the end of the last age, which is called the Age of Torah. The final 50-year Jubilee would have been between the years 25 and 75 AD. What do you have in that time? In that time, you have everything with Jesus' ministry, his death, his resurrection. You have the church begin, Pentecost. You have the Jewish temple being destroyed. You have a lot of prophecy in those 50 years. Now, if we time this all out, the final Jubilee of our current age is between the years 2025 and 2075. And we still have a lot of biblical end times prophecy that needs to be fulfilled.
Schools of thought, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, Jesus is arguing with them and so on. According to the Jewish historian Josephus, late first century historian, he says there's a third major school of thought, and that's called the Essenes. And he describes the Essenes, and he describes their special rituals, their special theology, their special practices. And his description of them matches up pretty well with those sectarian texts, which say, here's our take on topics A, B, and C.
Interesting.
And then we even have a Latin author, Pliny, who says that out by the Dead Sea, there's a group of people called the Esseni. And he says they don't marry, they only take in, but yet they replenish themselves by taking in orphans. And again, not all these things perfectly line up, but it does seem like the folks who authored the sectarian text of the Dead Sea Scrolls were the Essenes.
Now, my general advice always is that for us Christians, the scriptures hold the final say. That's it. But when you find any documents or any information that lines up with scriptures, you can hold on to it. And according to this essence, we are the last generation. You think about that. We are the final generation. And it is a call to action. Do all you can. Do all you can to see that your loved ones are saved. Even if you can't reach out to many other people, make sure your loved ones are saved. It will be a very terrible thing if you alone are saved out of your entire family. It would be very bad. I pray God helps us all.